By providing data-driven strategies and tailored logistical solutions, we at the Dining Blueprint are experts at transforming culinary ideals into successful restaurant realities. Our mission is to equip restaurant owners with the knowledge and resources they need to help improve customer experiences, maximize output, and achieve long-term success. When one of our founders used some brilliant ideas, marketing, and customer service techniques to save their best friend's faltering Mexican restaurant, the concept for the Blue Dining Print was born. Our business was founded on such an achievement. Our goal is plain and simple. By improving their branding, internet visibility, and customer service, we can assist Mexican restaurants in thriving in a cutthroat industry. We value openness, hospitality, and truthful communication. We take great satisfaction in our ability to establish a rapport with both staff and patrons in order to provide reliable and excellent eating experiences. For El Zarape, our focus area involves turning regular visitors into loyal patrons by implementing significant adjustments and managing reviews carefully, making them stand out for their entire dining experience rather than simply just their cuisine. Hi, my name is Anna Kate Graham, and I am the advertising consultant for the Dining Blueprint. I have been in the restaurant industry for over 15 years. My first job was at Chipotle when I was 16, and from there I knew I wanted to be in the industry somehow. I obtained my bachelor's degree in marketing, and later I landed my first advertising job at a 5-star restaurant named Aventine Rome, bringing them booming business. I learned a lot about how effective advertising and marketing is for a restaurant. Without effective marketing strategies, especially through reviews, patrons will not know about the restaurant, or they may have a bad image of the facility. Even with the tastiest menu items, patrons will still bypass your restaurant if the advertisements do not catch their eye. The restaurant I have reviewed is El Zarape. This restaurant opened in Rome, Georgia in 1982. They offer delicious Mexican-style food, superior cocktails, and a great location. In Rome alone, there are well over 10 to 15 Mexican restaurants that El Zarape has to compete with for business. One of the main competitors we found is Antigua because they are both credited for their amazing margaritas and cocktails. Another competitor we found is Mi Alazan, which is known for their amazing service and have retained regulars for years, but they have struggled to gain new customers. At the Dining Blueprint, our biggest goal is for our restaurants to have 5-star reviews. One review El Zarape got about a month ago was, "This place needs more stores than it currently has. Excellent dishes with dialed-in flavors that aren't too buried in the cheese." This is a great review for this restaurant as it highlights the delicious food the facility has to offer and highlights how important the quality of food is. An overwhelming amount of reviews have had something similar to this review that was written about 2 weeks ago. It reads, "The manager made rounds and helped us explore the big menu of food and drinks." Not only does this credit that the manager had an amazing management style for this restaurant, but it also emphasized the size of the menu and how it can cater to many different types of customers. Lastly, one of the most important factors of restaurants is the ratings of the service from back of house. For many Mexican restaurants, it's common for the kitchen to mess up orders. However, this recent review says, "This is the first time that my order hasn't been messed up at a Mexican restaurant." Again, this just emphasizes the fact that the back of house at this restaurant is doing pretty strong. Here at the Dining Blueprint, we completely understand that not everyone is going to have the same experience at a restaurant. However, we view bad reviews as a clear sign of what we need to improve on. El Zarape had a 1-star review 9 months ago that says, "Don't order to go." Paid $6.79 for a regular cheese dip, and it came in a 4-ounce cup. As we understand where the customer is coming from, we also take into consideration what they're saying and try to improve the best way possible. Another review reads, "Quantity did not match up with the prices at all. All complete ripoff." After reading this review, we understand that it is most important that our customers feel that they are valued and are receiving a good amount of food for their money. After reading these reviews, it's important to understand where your business is thriving and where the business is needing some extra help in order to bring the experience to the next level. At one of El Zarape's biggest competitors, Antigua, one review is, "Definitely a small place, limited seating." This is valuable information because we can know that families that are bigger or may have members in wheelchairs where more room is needed to dine, they may prefer dining at El Zarape. However, the majority of their reviews are praising their chips and salsa, saying it's the best in town. Comparing that review to some about El Zarape's chips and salsa, it's good to know that there is room to improve in that area in order to be competitive. One of our main recommendations for El Zarape is to evaluate recent sales data to determine the best-selling menu items at the restaurant. Then, modify prices in response to consumer demand and perceptions of value. To encourage larger purchases while still providing value to clients who are price conscious, and implement combo meals. Additionally, keep an eye on local market changes and competition such as Antigua or Mialazon pricing to make sure that El Zarape maintains its competitiveness without compromising its profitability. We also recommend using freshly fried tortilla chips rather than frozen chips brought on a truck, and adding roasted ingredients like tomatoes and jalapenos for a deeper, smokier flavor, and those are good ways to improve the chips and salsa dish at El Zarape. Trying out regional variations such as incorporating fresh herbs and a hint of citrus can improve the experience and distinguish restaurants from their competitors. A local rival with cheaper costs is a serious danger since they can drive away budget-conscious patrons from your restaurant. Customer loyalty may be affected by this price advantage, particularly if the rival keeps portion sizes and quantity the same. Reputation for serving better chips and salsa may affect first impressions and end up being a major factor in determining patron selection. This standard appetizer is a key point of competition because customers frequently use it to assess the overall quality of a Mexican restaurant. According to the SWOT analysis that we've designed, we have our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, and our threats. First, we have our strengths. We have amazing customer service at El Zarape, we have great menu selection, and we have a great location. All of these things are things that people are constantly praising El Zarape over the reviews. However, we have weaknesses. Those are okay. Those are great points to improve on. Portion size to pricing is not balanced, salsa is subpar, and to-go service is bad. Now, like we've said, all of these things are in our restaurant recommendations that we are going to be striving to improve at El Zarape. So, how can we have these opportunities to weigh out the weaknesses? Let's rework pricing. Focus on making chips and salsa in-house to improve that customer satisfied. Improve service in to-go. So if we have all of these opportunities, because of these weaknesses, we can totally turn those into strengths. And then lastly, our threats. Other restaurants are already known for great chips and salsa, cheaper pricing for larger quantity, strong sense of regulars in competitors' restaurants. There are always going to be threats when we have competitors in surrounding locations. However, it's important to make our strengths even stronger and take those weaknesses and amplify them into strengths so these threats don't seem as threatening. In conclusion, it's critical to manage restaurant reviews in this day of age. Looking at a restaurant review is how people decide whether or not to visit a restaurant strictly based on their ratings alone. Even when there are so many more positive evaluations than negative ones, poor reviews are still a cause for concern. As the owner of a restaurant, you should set aside time each day to read and reply to feedback and work on improving these weak points. By putting in the work to reevaluate pricing and how you prepare a staple dish in your restaurant, you can really start to demonstrate that you are a company that cares about your customers' opinions and that you want to improve their experience. The chance to assist you and your restaurant in upholding the high standards of a 5-star dining experience has been a great pleasure. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you need any assistance at any point. The easiest way to contact us is via phone at 555-777-3948 or by email at thedining@blueprint.com. Visit us at our website at www.thediningblueprint.com to view our services, expectations, and any other information you may need. We hope that when you think of any improvements that your team may need, that you think about the Dining Blueprint. The apron is our way of saying thank you and serve as a reminder that we are always in your corner to encourage you and your team to strive for excellence in the back and front of house. Once more, thank you for your business and know that we are here to help. Go walk on!